Welcome to the channel, Gaming Army. I've got a loaded question coming your way today. Have you ever found yourself on the battlefield in a situation where you can use or arguably abuse your teammates? And when faced with that situation, do you? Or do you take the moral high ground and not exploit that? And what, if any, are your regrets? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Our first drop of 2 has us playing skirmish mode on Canyon Network, and I've spotted the enemy and managed to get an airstrike out on them with some hits. You saw the red flash on the reticle. That means that at least some of those salvos hit. And that's when I noticed 2 of my teammates blow past me and continue down the Charlie 3 back line. Now, I was content to play this a little more conservatively and cautiously based on the mech that I'm in with the loadout that I'm running, which we've discussed in previous videos. But my teammates have kind of forced my hand. By pushing in the way they're doing means I need to step up and wait for the inevitable. And by that I mean their tactics and what they're doing. I'm not saying it's wrong. Let me be very clear on that. They are being incredibly aggressive, and they are applying a pressure to backfield units that could be shooting our teammates. So that is to be commended. However, if you noticed the 2 units that charged in, one of 2 things will happen. The question is, which will happen first? You have 1 unit with ECM, 1 unit without ECM. At some point, one of them will be either visually spotted, or the one without the ECM is going to show up on enemy sensors. And when that happens, my experience is the enemy will respond by defensively swarming into the backfield to get rid of that threat. Now, some of you are saying, Juan, why didn't you go with them? That would have given you double the ECM coverage and would have made a mini wolf pack. And that may work, but not necessarily in this mech. If I had medium lasers or pulse lasers, that would have been more of an option. But this build has a long cycle time on its weapons. Sometimes it feels like an eternity to cycle through the weapons, so the best I can do is set myself up in positions to take advantage of the fact that the enemy is streaming back into Charlie 3, and that's where we have found Foxtrot, our friendly summoner here. We've managed to open up his back. I'm trying to get some additional back shots on him, and he's got a friend pushing through the area. So I'm being cheeky, doing some jump shots. I'm also relocating so they don't get eyes on me, because I am a light mech after all. And there we go again. Foxtrot is now one touch. I can just get another angle on that rear CT. That summoner and all of his SRMs will be off the board. Still not quite there, but I do a little chip damage, and I'm sure that's putting him under immense pressure, hearing those alarms going off in his cockpit. There's still 2 more ahead of me over the ridgeline here. I'm going to use my jump jets, do some quick snapshots, drop back into cover, reposition again, and that's what it is. Stick and maneuver, stick and maneuver, and here comes a Warhawk down the trail. I've got to get defensive and evasive as quickly as possible because he's got a lot of firepower. But coming back around, I find him engaged with one of my teammates in the low ground. He manages to put up a UAV. I'm going to stagger my shots because I do tend to run hot, and that right torso just looks so juicy. But you can see the cycle times on my weapons. Guys, let me tell you, it feels like an eternity sitting in your cockpit watching that fight unfold, knowing that you can't quite shoot just yet. He is being focused heavily by my teammates, and one of my teammates is able to pick up the kill. I'm going to back off, take out that UAV. No sense in giving the enemy any additional information if we don't have to. Now I'm going to move on and look for additional prey, and as I come around the corner, I notice one of our assaults. He is under fire from a quick draw. It's an IV4 up on the hill. As soon as I get clear here, let me get some shots on the IV4. Getting some hits in, but not doing enough damage or taking anything important off of the IV4, although his leg is open. That's something to remember, is that he has an open leg. Those missiles, however, are no fun to deal with. Coming up and over the top, there are 2 now engaged with my teammate, and I'm trying to get some shots on without doing damage to the Fafnir. he's kind of blocking. So we'll get a shot out on the IV and left torso. That left torso was looking nice in orange. Relocating yet again. I don't know if they're going to come up over that ramp searching for me, realizing that I'm up there, or if my ECM did its job and protected me. Coming around from a different angle to see if they were searching for me, it looks like no, they have moved on. And cresting across the hill, there he is. The IV is running, so we get a shot, take that left torso. Both legs are open on that quick draw. However, he still has one of his MRMs. He still has to be respected. And now I gotta go evasive, sticky maneuver, trying to come at the enemy from yet a different angle. Now the score is 6-9, and unfortunately one of my teammates is actually a disconnect who's sitting out towards Bravo 3, which is not a good sign. And the enemy is pushing over Charlie 4, going after my teammate towards Charlie 5. Now I want to come at them from a different angle. Again, I don't want to link up with him because that means both of us are in the same location to be easily focused upon. If I'm coming at him from a different angle, that's going to make them second guess as to where I am and hopefully create opportunities either for myself or for my teammate. Coming over the hill, there is an Incubus just standing still. Guys, I can't stress this enough. Lights, speed is life. So we take half the Incubus, and I think the jig is up. They know that I'm here. I've got to beat feet yet again and come at it from a different angle. That's when I notice our disconnect is back, sort of, kind of. He's just standing there. So again, I don't want to link up with him. That'll put both of us in the same area to be easily focused. I want to come at him from opposing angles. Going back up over the top, we managed to find our friend, the Quick Draw. He's the one with both legs open. Let's see if we can't focus those legs. And there goes one. And almost get the second one. Yes, there's the kill shot on the Quick Draw. I don't think I'll be able to take out this enemy piranha, even though his legs are open. Nope, I am focused down before that happens. And that leaves our little Locust Pirate's Bane as last man standing. So, do I feel a little bit dirty using my teammates? Well, okay, maybe a little bit, but not too much, because the reality is there wasn't much I was going to do in either one of those situations. In the opening rounds, those two units that charged in, I wasn't going to be able to help them. The best I could do is support them and take advantage of the confusion they were sowing amongst the enemy, which I feel that I did. And our last friend, I really wish I could have been able to help him out more. If he had had ECM, it would have been even better, that we could have maybe bounced some of the enemy units back and forth between us, opening up back shots for either one of us. As it was, they saw him, they had him marked, and were charging forward to focus him down. And there wasn't much I could do to stop it. Going into that situation only would have gotten my mech spotted right out of the gate, and then I would have been the second unit to be immediately focused down. As it was, we were able to sow a little confusion of our own and take out the Quick Draw in the process. My only regret is I wasn't able to take out the piranha with his open legs before going down. At this stage, I'm not holding out much hope that our Pirate's Bane is going to get the job done. He's been operating under stealth for quite some time, and I don't know if he has a real good sense of where the enemies are located on the board. That's because the stealth armor mutes your sensors as well as protecting you from your enemy sensors, and he is about to stumble into two assault mechs coming his way off the left side, and that's going to be all shoot. Switching over to the end screen on this one, we wound up with 1 kill, 7 components destroyed, 648 damage done. Moving on to our next drop, this one has us playing Domination Mode on Terra Therma, and as we moved into the center, we have discovered an enemy Raven. No, I am not using my teammate up there as bait. That is not what you are seeing on the screen. That teammate was already discovered and focused. I'm just adding support fire. That's what it is. Support fire. This is not a case of me using my teammates. See, look at this. I went and found a Night Gear all on my own, and marked him and called him out for my teammates. Now my team has aggressively pushed and held the center capture point, and I am doing my part to mark and call out targets while overheating at the same time. It's important that you get in at least one strategic shutdown per match, guys. I can't stress that enough. Okay, maybe 2. This is going to be a fun one because this build is already super hot with those dual heavy large lasers. Now, put yourself onto a nice toasty map like Terra Therma, and yeah, I'm going to be riding the heat scale for this drop. Now, the enemy is starting to aggressively flow into Gulf 7 to try and challenge us, and I'm actually in a good-bad position. And by that, I mean I have limited myself as far as mobility where I'm at on this board, but I do have a decent location. I've got that big cement pillar in front of me for cover. I'm protected to my right by terrain, and I've got my ECM shielding me from the enemy as well. So all in all, not too shabby, and that allows me to peek out and get some shots on that enemy Night Gear, except now I got blocked by the Corsair. I've got to get back into cover. Whew. Luckily I make that. That could have gone horribly wrong if the enemy had spotted me, especially with my back 2 down. Night Gear is moving off, and this is when an enemy Banshee decides to push across the open ground. We're going to get a couple of shots on him. Corsair steps up to engage as well, and we're able to get quite a bit of damage. Half the Banshee is down. He's lost a lot of his weapons, and our UAV is doing an excellent job of painting targets ahead of us to our right. Now, while that's going on, we're going to use our cover and our teammates for cover to get some more additional shots out on the hopefully enemy targets and not do little chip damage to our teammates. That would be wrong and a bad thing. Keep in mind, this is a very hot map, and I have very hot weapons, and that heat scale just does not like me, but I want to get some damage on that Warhammer, and that triggers a shutdown, and you know what that means. If you're enjoying the video thus far, make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any future content like this, and guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of the subscriptions and helping this channel grow. Looking at the minimap, there is an enemy assault in front of us, and coming up out of cover is our friend the Banshee, and he is hurting, and we add to that. He's one-touch center torso. A teammate picks up the kill, and now looking at the minimap, it looks like the push is on to shove the remaining enemy units out of the center capture circle. There's a Fafnir being problematic in the low ground just in front of us, and I can't quite get an angle on him, but I've got lots of teammates pushing forward. I'm going to use them as my shield wall, and that's going to allow me to break out and actually become mobile again. So I'm going to shift around to the left-hand side, using the terrain for cover, but trying to get eyes on enemies, because that is important, and that's when we spot the little urban mech, and he can't be left to get away. So we're going to try to focus him down. There we go. We took something off of him. Must have been right torso or right arm at least. And a teammate finishes him off. There's an enemy awesome lingering in the background. Get a couple of shots out on him. Heat warning. There we go. Told you he's going to be riding the heat scale on this map. That awesome is open CT, open right torso. There's a rifleman giving him protection. Hotel, he is also open CT right torso. Those are 2 enemy units I want to go after. Using my assaults as the diversion, we swing around the corner. We're able to take out the rifleman. It only cost us a tactical shutdown, which is a small price to pay to take him off the board. And now we can deal with the awesome on the high ground. So going vertical, we try to get a shot on that center torso. We don't quite land the shot, and jumping and weapons fire cause another tactical shutdown. I am a fan of tactical shutdown, guys. Just saying. Anyway, the awesome is taken out of the game by a teammate, and that leaves last man standing, and now the hunt is on. Looking up at the countdown clock, that gives away the enemy's possible position. We at least know he's in the capture circle somewhere. So now we just need to reverse course, get back into the center, get eyes on whatever the last enemy unit is that's trying to hold the center. And there we go. Teammates have locked him up, and it is a Kit Fox. And he is fresh. Don't know where he's been all game. Right torso is open. We're going to go in for the kill since it is the last one and do as much damage as we can. He is hurt and being focused from multiple angles, missiles, and DACA, and down he goes. Switching over to our end screen on this one, we wind up with 2 kills, 9 assists, 648 damage done again.